Hello everyone. Today we are gonna discuss about semi-auto analyzer or semi-automated analyzer. This instrument is used in clinical chemistry diagnosis and it's a very vital lesson for undergraduate, postgraduate as well as all categories of medical laboratory, that is DMLT students, right? So, first understand what do we mean by semi-auto analyzer. You may be asked to define a semi-auto analyzer in your theory paper, or you may be simply asked what is this instrument. Let's see in detail what's the scientific terminology that we can use for semi-auto analyzer. It's actually a microprocessor controlled bichromatic open system. Now all these terms are important. Microprocessor, we understand there's a computer inside, right, which determines something, which does its own work when we set some program. So there comes the role of microprocessor controlled. Bichromatic means this machine can analyze two different wavelengths at one point of time, same as double beam spectrophotometer. Very important. An open system, what do we mean by open system? It means irrespective of the company or manufacturing company of the semi-auto analyzer, analysis can be done by reagents of any company or any manufacturer. This is known as open system. There are many closed systems, especially in automated analyzer, in which if it is made by Siemens, you can only use reagent that is provided by Siemens, right? That is one important thing for semi-auto analyzer. There is no such restriction. Now, it is based on the principle of photometry. Just like colorimeter and spectrophotometer, you may be asked about Lambert's law, Beer's law, all those things. So remember, all the basic principles of photometry are applicable to semi-auto analyzer. It is same as colorimeter and the spectrophotometer with an added machine, added computer. Now, what is the use? It is used for analysis of various biochemical parameters in body fluids. For example, blood glucose, urea, creatinine. There are multiple parameters in a clinical lab, and almost all of them can be used using a semi-automated analyzer. So, what is done, how it is done, why it is semi, why it is not auto analyzer. If you omit the term semi, what remains is an automated analyzer. So why it is not automated? The main reason, here the sample and the reagent mixing is done manually. You need to mix the sample and reagent outside, and then you need to feed it to the instrument. It is fed to the instrument for analysis, whereas in case of automated analyzer, we just put in the reagent and the sample, and the whole mixing is done by robotic arms. So that is fully automated. Here it is not done, it is manually mixed but analyzed automatically. So semi is the mixing part, auto is the analysis part. Analysis is done much faster in comparison to colorimeter. Definitely colorimeter is much slower. You need to take optical density of each agents manually, and then need to calculate manually. That part is done automated inside the machine by this microprocessor. So this is in general the parts of a semi-automated analyzer. Now this will vary from institute to institute, from company to company, but in general this will be it. There will be an inbuilt printer which will not work most of the time, because often what we do, we just note the value from this LCD display. There's a paper roll that needs to be fed. If the paper roll is there, then definitely printout will come. Sample mixture aspiration capillary, this is very important. It is present in all semi-auto analyzer. A small thin slender tube, capillary tube, through which we need to dip the reagent, make sure that there is no air bubble, and then we need to press the feed button. Then the whole thing will be aspirated, sucked inside. Next, there will be a keyboard for programming where you can set all the parameters, where you can set factors manually. And lastly, there will be a waste collection tubing at the back. There will be a bottle in which all the waste materials will be connected. One more thing will be at the back, that is the main power switch. It may be at the side or it may be at the back. Very important. This, your semi-auto analyzer may not look like. There are multiple companies: Tulip, Airba, Transasia, Randox. Make sure you are well accustomed with the semi-auto analyzer in which you are working. It may be different from this diagram, but all these basic parts should be there. So just give it a look from all sides and then identify. You know what, many students fail just because they cannot simply power on the semi-auto analyzer is a very important thing. They always enter the lab and they see everything is always switched on. They simply keep on doing. But for examiner specifically makes it a point to switch off the semi-auto analyzer. There are two questions. Why? First of all, whenever you switch on a semi-auto analyzer, just like any spectrophotometer, ideally you should give it some time for the halogen lamp to warm up for the UV range analysis. So you must know where the main switch lies, where the main power button lies. It's often ignored, but there you might suffer. So next, let us look at the tests or the methods, the principles by which we can analyze few analytes or reagents. See, number one is endpoints. Now these we will not be discussing in details because it's mainly in the enzyme kinetics part. You should know by this point what is an endpoint analysis, what is a kinetic analysis. If you don't know, we will discuss it on our future videos. But an endpoint reaction means you mix something, you incubate it for some amount of time, then you feed it to the semi-auto analyzer. For example, glucose, uric acid, all of them are example of endpoint analysis. Kinetic method, the change in optical density is going on in real time. So during analysis, you need to, during the change in OD, you need to feed it to the semi-auto analyzer. The semi-auto analyzer will now aspirate the mixture and it will analyze for 1 minute, for 1.5 minute, for 180 seconds, depending on how much time you set. It will analyze the change in optical density and it will calculate the curve and it will give you the kinetic result based on the programming. Very important example is Jaffe's method or Jaffe kinetic method for creatinine. 2-point method, very important. For example, bilirubin, the mixture is analyzed at 2 different points and then the difference is calculated and the result is given. Lastly, double wavelength determination, dichromatic analysis. Nothing, simply one mixture, one colored reagent is analyzed at 2 different wavelengths just to minimize the interferences. This is the same principle that we use in double beam spectrophotometer. This provision is also available in a semi-automated analyzer. So you should know the principle of each of these reactions and at least 1 to 2 example of each type of method or analyte that is used by using these methods. Next, so what are the advantages of semi-auto analyzers? See, the main reason why we are studying semi-auto analyzer, because it may come as a theory question, it may come in practical, especially for postgraduate students. One minor experiment in semi-auto analyzer is a must, then all these questions will follow. So advantage is these are cheap and compact, very small instrument that can be placed in any corner of the lab and it will give you full power of analyzing all parameters, right? So they are very cheap and compact in comparison to full auto, not comparison to colorimeter. Colorimeters are much small. Next, specimen analysis is cheap and since the volume of reagent used is 0.5 to 1 ml, so it is cheap in comparison to colorimeter. So whenever we are talking about the advantages of semi-auto analyzer, the size advantage is compared to auto and the reagent advantage is compared to the colorimeter. Next, enzyme determination by kinetic method can be done accurately. If you are doing in colorimeter, you need to manually measure all the time based assays, but in case of semi-auto it will just do it for you. Next, it is very helpful for low workload labs because for high workload lab or the labs which has got automated analyzer, you need highly skilled or trained technicians to operate the auto analyzer because there is much more complex programming involved in that. But semi-auto analyzer is very easy to operate and even anybody who is not much learned can be easily taught and trained about how to operate semi-auto analyzer. Next, it serves as a very good backup machine for high workload laboratories. For example, in cases where there is you need to just verify, cross verify, one may not rely fully because one machine maybe it is giving error, it is having some systemic error. So generally we prefer to re-verify or cross verify the same result in a semi-automated analyzer. It is just the thought, the psychology that re-verification is better done in semi-auto analyzer. Now, having so much advantages, let's talk about the disadvantages. There has to be, any machine has got pros and cons. Number one, low throughput. Number of analysis per hour is very low compared to semi-automated analyzer. Definitely in automated analyzer, if your workload is very high, semi-automated analyzer is not an option. You need to upgrade to a fully automated analyzer because of high throughput. So semi-auto has got low throughput. Next, large volume of reagent required. See, this same point we are using as an advantage in the earlier section, but in compared to an automated analyzer, the required volume of reagent is much more. In automated analyzer, we can use as low as 200 microliter of reagent, but in semi we need at least 500 microliter. Next, just related to the throughput, you need to do analysis one at a time. You just cannot simply set a batch of analysis and then you can simply go and do other jobs. No, it's not possible. You need to mix one by one, into analyze one by one. Of course, the results will be there in your system, but still that manual part has to be done in semi-auto. Whereas in fully automated, you just set in computer and you just forget it. After 30 minutes or 1 hour, one cycle, the whole result will be displayed in the computer. So very much it is not suitable for high workload laboratory. It's not an option. You need automated analyzer. One more important thing, technical part, it may be asked that in case of semi-automated analyzer, there is no cooling system. So you need to first take out the reagents, you need to warm them up to room temperature and then you need to analyze. Whereas this thing is automatically done in case of auto analyzer, where there is an inbuilt cooling system. So whenever in use, the reagents are coming to room temperature. Whenever not in use, the reagents are being kept in a fully cooled chamber. So it will help to increase the shelf life of reagents. So generally, semi-automated reagent analyzer are unstable compared to auto analyzers. Now, very important, what are the probable questions for any student, for postgraduate, undergraduate? The probable questions, number one will be, what is the use of this? How do you use it? Number one, how do you use and why do you use? Very important. You need to promptly answer few parameters that can be done using this semi-auto analyzer. Next, you will be asked about the principle, where you need to know and tell the examiner about the various principle of photometry, how a colorimeter works, how a spectrophotometer works, and this machine is basically an extrapolation of those concepts. Next, practical application, you need to say in which cases do you use a semi-auto analyzer. Even if there is an auto analyzer present, if there is very low amount of sample, then semi-auto analyzer is always preferred, because maintenance of that auto analyzer, starting up of that auto analyzer is bit cumbersome compared to semi-auto. If low number of sample, you can simply start and you are done with semi-auto analyzer. Next, maintenance, very important. You need to regularly use wash solution, you need to change the waste bin, all those maintenance. Moreover, if there is any spillage on the machine, you need to keep the machine surface clean. So very important, an LCD screen, all those things should be very well checked. The paper roll should be changed regularly. If it gets stuck, it needs to be manually, cleaned up. So all those things are part of maintenance. Next question definitely will come, comparison to semi-auto analyzer, comparison to auto analyzers, which we already discussed in great details. Next, operation of semi-auto analyzer, from switching on the main power to setting up the programming. If there is an inbuilt programming, then how you do it. If there is not inbuilt programming, then how you set up a program. Very important. This may vary from instrument to instrument, and it's widely advisable the service person who is attending or who is providing the semi-auto analyzer should demonstrate it first, and you should learn from him and you should practice on your own to set all these programs. So not only you can manually or independently handle the machine, you can also train your juniors, which is the most important part of lab culture. You must master a machine so that you can pass the knowledge to your juniors, just like I am passing it to you right now. Next, very important, what is factor? Factor is an integer or fraction by which if you multiply the absorbance, will get the result. As simple as that, right? But while measuring semi-auto analyzer, while measuring the values in semi-auto analyzer, a program might be set wrongly, right? Maybe the service person has messed it up, or there is some lot change, or you are putting some absolutely new reagent in for which the machine has not any inbuilt program. Then very important, you need to use the absorbance mode. What is absorbance mode? In absorbance mode, the semi-auto analyzer is nothing but a spectrophotometer. You simply note down the absorbance and then you calculate the factors manually, you multiply and you get the result. So very important, if there is an inbuilt programming, you just simply feed the reagent and you are done. But if it is not, you need to measure in absorbance mode, you need to calculate the factors. So you must know what is factor, how to calculate a factor. Those questions will also follow when you are being questioned about semi-auto analyzer. And lastly, two very important concepts while measuring or setting up any program. You need to, many semi-auto analyzer will provide you option for seeping reagent blank and seeping sample blank. So what are them? Reagent blank means the absorbance that is provided by the, that is due to the reagent itself. So in order to measure reagent blank, you should use a very good deionized water with the reagent and you should note down the OD. Ideally you don't need to note down anything because the machine will do it for you. So that is reagent blank. So this amount of OD will definitely have some impact on the final result, right? For example, if it is 0.03 and the final result is 0.09, it is factor of 30%. But if the final result is 0.15 and it is 0.03, then it's negligible. But still, reagent blank should always be considered. Then what is sample blank? Sample blank is mainly used to zero the machine. Whenever there is any turbidity in the sample or any haziness, ideally it shouldn't interfere with the analysis. So generally when we are zeroing the machine or the machine will do it for you, sample blank means we need to just feed the sample, only sample, nothing else. Then if there is any change in OD or turbidity to the sample itself, the machine will calculate, it will note and it will zero down the thing. So when you are actually mixing your final analyte, that is proper reagent with proper sample, all those errors will be minimized and you will get the most accurate result. So that's it for today. These are all the essential aspects of semi-auto analyzer that you need to know for your exam. Feel free to hit the comment section with all your queries and I'll be happy to solve them for you. And if you want me to analyze more such lab instrument, then also you can request in the comment section. Anyways guys, I wish you all the best for your upcoming exams and I will see you with another video. Till then, bye and take care.